Welcome to BHS News Program, where we keep you informed and up to date on all the latest happenings in our school community. I'm James Dodson.
And I'm Adobe eBay. We'll be bringing you all the big stories, interviews, and events you need to know about. From the classroom to the sports field, we'll have it all covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this episode of BHS-TV.
As we celebrate Black History Month, we'll be highlighting the contributions and achievements of African Americans in our school and the community.
Let's start out our first segment.
Black History Month is an important observance for high school students for several reasons. First, it provides an opportunity for students to learn about the contributions and achievements of African Americans throughout history. This includes learning about important historical figures such as Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King Jr., and Thurgood Marshall, as well as the broader historical context of the Civil Rights Movement and the ongoing struggle for racial equality. Furthermore, Black History Month also helps students to understand the ongoing issues facing the Black community today. It allows students to gain a deeper understanding of the ways in which racism and discrimination continue to affect the lives of African Americans and encourages them to think about how they can create a more just and equitable society. Additionally, Black History Month also helps to promote diversity and inclusivity in the classroom. By highlighting the contributions and experiences of African Americans, it helps to broaden the perspectives and understandings of all students and foster a more inclusive and accepting school culture. Finally, it is important to note that the study of Black history is not only important for African American students, but also for all students. It allows them to understand the history of the country they're living in and the role that Black people played and continue to play in it. It also helps them to understand the social, economic, and political issues that have shaped the country and the world they live in today.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
From the fight for racial equality to diversity for all, sports have played a vital role in society and continue to do so.
Sports have always been more than just games on the field. They have the power to bring people together, inspire change, and break down barriers. Today, we will take a look at how sports and athletes can be a driving force for positive social change, and how athletes are using their platforms to speak out on important issues.
Welcome to Sports Desk. I am Ken Dills. First, we are going to start off by featuring professional athletes that have significantly impacted African American history and has a positive impact on society as a whole. Muhammad Ali, also known as Cassius Clay, was a legendary boxer and civil rights activist. He is considered one of the most iconic figures in African American history, and his legacy continues to inspire people today, particularly during Black History Month. Ali began training as a boxer and quickly rose to fame as a professional boxer. He became the heavyweight champion of the world in 1964 and was also known for his quick wit and brash personality, as well as his powerful punches. But Ali's impact goes beyond the ring. He was also a vocal advocate for civil rights and used his platform to speak out against racial inequality and injustice. He was a member of the Nation of Islam and changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali to reflect his beliefs. Today, Ali's legacy continues to inspire people of all ages, especially young people in high school. His strength and determination in the face of adversity, his courage to stand up for his beliefs, and dedication for fighting for justice and equality. One of the most notable achievements in recent history is the success of African American quarterbacks in the NFL. This year, for the first time ever, two African American quarterbacks faced in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, at just 25 years old, has already established himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, winning MVP in the year 2018 and leading his team to the Super Bowl last year and winning the Super Bowl this year. Philadelphia Eagles' Jalen Hurts, in his second year as a starting quarterback, has been a key player in leading the Eagles to the Super Bowl and has quickly become one of the most successful young players in the NFL. Although it is important to showcase Black athletes, it is also important to highlight the achievements of Black coaches both at pro and collegiate levels. For example, Deion Sanders. He started off playing football at Florida State and quickly became one of the greatest players of all time in the NFL, as well as a Hall of Famer. Currently, Sanders is the head coach at the University of Colorado Boulder. He spoke out to the public about his decision.
My calling is for young men, young women, and people of all walks of life, all social climates, and all ethnicities. That's my calling. My calling is not built on a location. is built on a destination.
This shows Sanders overcame adversity. He is among many influential African-American coaches, others being Mike Tomlin, Steelers head coach, Mel Tucker, Michigan State head coach, Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame head coach. All these coaches throughout their career has been inspiring athletes to think beyond the field and be the best versions of themselves. I am Ken Dills. That was Sports Desk, and I'm sending it back to the anchor desk.
For our next segment, The Note takes a closer look at the rich and diverse history of the African American community.
Today, we're diving into the important contributions and milestones made in Black history, highlighting the individuals and events that have shaped our country and continue to inspire us today.
Hi BHS, I'm Sophia Washington, and it's time to get you in the know. February marks Black History Month, a time to reflect on the important moments and figures in African American history. This year, we take a look at some of the most significant events and individuals that have shaped the course of Black history. One of the most notable moments in Black history is the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s, led by figures such as Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. The movement fought for equal rights and an end to segregation for Black Americans. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were crucial pieces of legislation that helped to end the legal discrimination against Black Americans. Another important moment in Black history is the Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s. This culture movement saw a flowering of art, literature, and music by Black artists such as Langston Hughes helped to bring the contributions of Black Americans to the forefront of American culture. Black women have also played a vital role in shaping Black history. Activists such as Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth fought for abolition and women's rights, while figures like Maya Angelou and Toni Morrison have made significant contributions to literature related to Black History Month. Barrington recently posted a huge orchestra event, K-12, that shone a spotlight on Black composers and celebrated Black History Month. Here are a few musicians that orchestra students featured: Ben E. King, who sang Stand By Me, Michael Jackson, who sang Man in the Mirror, Duke Ellington, who sang It Don't Mean a Thing, and so much more. All these artists represent how Black musicians have shaped and influenced the music industry. As we celebrate Black History Month, it is important to remember these and other important moments in Black history and to recognize the contributions of Black Americans to our society. As a society, we must continue to work towards a more just and equal future for all. That's a wrap, BHS. I'm Sophia Washington, and now you're in the know.
And that concludes our informative episode on Black history.
We hope you've learned something new and were inspired by the achievements and contributions of the African American community.
It is important to remember that Black history is American history, and it is essential to acknowledge, celebrate, and learn from it.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.